As a team. We rolled up 2 good old golden arches.
Blasting Travis Scott.
I rolled down the window and I'm like, hey, Travis sent me.
He said what?
I said, you heard me. Travis sent me.
All sprites with that?
I was like, and I need 3 of them. Next window, please.
Awesome, man. Well, everyone, welcome to the Monarch Social podcast. My name's Morgan.
My name is Makoa.
And we're starting a podcast. We're doing it, Koa.
We are, man. We're here.
So one of the reasons that we want to start is I think it's a evolving thing that's happening. But when I look at marketing companies right now, digital marketing companies, other marketing companies, I think that this is one way that we need to market better. Is what better way than being a social media marketing company of being social with people?
Yeah, and talking to people.
Yeah, I think like
straight up.
I really think like this will connect to a bigger audience, and one of the main things I want to do with this, and we'll get into that, is provide more value to people, not just the clients that we work with,
but everybody.
Yeah, that's
everybody
right.
can benefit from knowing how social media marketing works.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, and we're gonna start here is we're Monarch Social. We're a company that started here in Salt Lake City, Utah, and we own a couple offices. We have an awesome team.
Good little office out here in Pocatello.
Yeah, we have one in Pocatello, Idaho. We have one in Salt Lake City. And we started about 2 years ago.
At a house.
Yeah, we started in a house. We, I had a house up in the foothills of Salt Lake. I got Makoa on board. We're gonna go through what we specialize in, but I brought Makoa on, and we started in a little house. We didn't even have an office.
A little rinky-dink house. And honestly, it was a nice house.
It was a super nice house.
But the issue was we were getting hit with the landlord trying to say we can't run a business.
Well, we had way too many cars. We literally had a call center because we were calling clients and potential leads, trying to get us business. And so we had 5-6 cars outside our house every day.
Every single day.
So anyways, we started 2 years ago. We wanted to focus on 3 main things. We wanted to focus on video, so videography, content,
yeah.
And that's why I brought Makoa on. He's also an account manager for like Facebook ads and Google ads, and that's the second thing we wanted to focus on was paid media or paid advertising using Facebook and Google.
Yes, sir.
And then we wanted to build websites, but we didn't have that key piece yet. So those were the 3 things that we wanted to do. We started that, and we're one of the companies that saw some awesome success.
Yeah, right off the bat, honestly. I mean, it took us a little while to get everything, processes, again, that call center, getting everybody into a flow, teaching, complete strangers a little bit how social
marketing works. Yeah, that was...
And being able to talk to people and say, hey, you guys need digital marketing.
Yeah.
That took a little bit of time.
It took us 2 to 3 months to really understand, what we offered at what price point, and how to get clients. I think it took about 3 months. So if there's people out there listening that are wanting to get into marketing or the social media space, it does take a little bit of time to do so. We started at a bigger scale rather than it wasn't just a onesie twosie thing. And I think that's why it took a little bit more time because we had way more processes. It wasn't like
we had way more
people too. Yeah. And so it wasn't like I, as a single person, was going out to find one person to work with. It was like we were finding people at a mass scale and then instantly putting them into our workflow.
Yep.
So
exactly.
So what we do now, we added more team members, obviously.
Yep.
We got rid of the call center because it didn't work for us.
Right.
Some of it did.
I would say it worked to start, but it just wasn't sufficient. It wasn't continual.
It was a really hit or miss, and one of the reasons why is because we didn't know our niche yet.
Right.
I think we were really broad.
Right. But I think it helped just being that initial, dive into the water. Hey,
we sucked at it.
We sucked, but we reached a ton of people that were complete strangers, and kind of got the buzz going about what we do, who we are, and then obviously we've pivoted since then. We've turned into this networking, really getting to know people because we kind of established that foundation. We got that baseline of clients to say, hey, this is some of the stuff that we do, show some people, results that we've been able to get with other people. And, now we've built from that.
Yeah. Awesome. And I completely agree. We started when we started the business. We were offering things that we don't even offer anymore.
Yes.
We were at really different pricing and et cetera, et cetera. And
I think that's huge. I think that's a huge thing with digital marketing, is being able to pivot and being able to learn on the go and make adjustments as you grow.
Yeah. So what eventually happened is we literally got rid of everyone.
Yeah.
And then me and Koa, we couldn't be in that house anymore. And there was another owner with us at the time too. And he decided he didn't want to be a part of us anymore, and he wanted to do other things, which is totally cool.
Totally fine. Yeah.
So me and Makoa, we just wanted to go full speed ahead, just us, and we got an office.
Was that in 2018 or 2019?
The beginning of 2019. It was January 2019. We got our office.
Down here in
And
Salt
then
Lake.
we just went to work and we redesigned everything. Just to be completely honest, we reworked everything that we created, basically.
We do everything, yeah. Like so we had those baseline clients, and even those clients, the services that we offered them changed.
Yeah, and we had to completely redo our pricing, our offerings. It was just me and Makoa, and we said, hey, like, we really believe in this. And we had like 2 clients from when we had our big team, right? We had 2 clients that we brought with us, and we said, okay, we got 2 clients, we're covering costs.
Yeah.
Now let's go get more clients. And I think like that first 2 months of being in the office,
January,
we exploded.
Yeah.
Like that was the craziest thing. So.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where, I mean, it was like the stars aligned in a sense, because everybody was out of their contract. Again, this is where I say that those call center kids kind of like set a good foundation, because once, we had our foot in the door, as soon as everybody was out of their contract, Jan 1, who did they call?
Yeah, they called us.
Exactly.
So anyway, so that's a little bit about the backstory of how Monarch started. Now, like I said, two locations, we have a full team members, we do a lot of different stuff.
Right.
To clarify why we're starting the podcast too, and what you guys can expect from this podcast is, like I said, we want to provide a ton of value. And some of those values that we're going to be discussing on this podcast is marketing tips, the do's and don'ts of marketing. And this is all digital marketing, by the way. This is all like online marketing. We don't do traditional marketing at all.
No, flyers, billboards,
no radio, nothing. We might in the future, who knows? But we're really good at online stuff. So social media presence, what you need to have a presence on social media.
Right.
Whether you're a company or you're an individual, we want to talk about the things that we see that are working, that are not working.
What's hot, what's not.
Yeah. And then we'll actually do some brand audits of companies that we like.
And, dissect what they do, why it's working, why they're in the position that they're in.
Yeah. So who we are. So Makoa, we kind of said...
We kind of dived into a little bit, but I don't think we really got into the nitty gritties of how we got into this digital world.
Yeah, so let's start with you, Koa. How did you start in marketing? What's your backstory? What did you do? Who are you?
So, funny as it be, I went out when I was 17, 18. Went out and did, of course, door-to-door sales. I think that's a huge trend out here in Utah. Everybody hits the doors once everybody. One summer at least.
At least all the return missionaries from Utah.
Yes, we got a bunch of slayers out here.
They're used to knocking doors.
The hardest.
So there's a lot of companies out here that are door knockers. Like you have the Vivint, you have the alarm systems, the solar, pest control, tons of companies out here.
And so of course, yes, I hit doors. I went out to the Bay Area, which I love the Bay Area, by the way. Awesome place. And I was knocking doors.
Bay Area's overrated. I live there. It's terrible.
Hater.
It's a stinky, gross place. But
it breathes creativity. And this is what I'll say. I knock doors, and I hated it. I will say that. I'll be the first person to say I hated knocking doors. And so what I did was I hit the doors, I hit that benchmark where it's like if I were to have stayed at home that summer and worked, I hit that benchmark of the same amount of money I would have come home with. So once I hit that benchmark, I'm not gonna lie, my motivation tanked. Because I was like, I'm just sick of doing doors. And being out there, I was like, I would much rather explore, see what this city has to offer, and just, spread my wings and see what's out there. Right before I left, I picked up a GoPro from my old job at Comcast, from one of my teammates. And that kind of changed everything.
What year was this?
when I picked up that GoPro, it had to have been like 2016, 2017. I want to say it was 2016.
Okay.
But anyways, I go out there, and before I even went, I started making these little rinky-dink videos of just me and my friends going out places and just kind of having a good time.
Okay.
And once I got to San Fran, I was like blown away by how impressive the city was. And I remember the kid that I went out with, we would go and we would drop everybody off because I was one of the kids that had a car. And we would literally just hit the cities instead of going outdoors, and we'd make little videos.
Little like travel vlogs.
Little like travel vlogs, and it was before I even knew that. I mean, dude, I was editing these in iMovie. Like iMovie, basic stuff.
It's funny to look back on that, but
yeah, it is.
Just
and
knowing what you can do now.
Exactly. And so I caught this like videography bug where I was just obsessed. Like I honestly couldn't even listen to music without like visualizing different cuts, different scenes, different things that I wanted to do with video. And so I end that summer, I come back home, and like I said, I was just like, I would get me and my friends, and we'd go every other day just out in nature and make stupid little like you said, travel,
like little videos.
Little travel videos. Yeah.
Little 10-minute videos, right?
Exactly. And so I come home, I move in with my good buddies, and we went on a vacation to Hawaii. And that was the first time that I got into another really tropical place, or any other kind of
aesthetically crazy,
visually
vacation
beautiful place. Yeah. And it was for my buddy's wedding, and it was cool because I had all my homies there. So it was the perfect stage to create a cool video. And so I ended up making this like Hawaii recap video and posted it on Facebook. And you have to keep in mind, I wasn't big into social media and per se. I would post these videos every once in a while. But it was mostly just for like me, myself.
Like your memories.
Yeah, like this is a cool journal, right? Exactly. And I posted it on Facebook, and I had somebody message me and ask me, hey, we're looking for a video to be made for a company called Bad Apple. And that was literally the first gig that I've ever pursued. I mean, I've had people be like, oh, how much would it make the video? But I just didn't have confidence in myself.
Because you were
like,
brand new, you used a GoPro and iMovie, and now people want to pay.
GoPro, iMovie, and I'm like, part of me was like, I feel bad if somebody was to pay me because I'm not a professional at
like what if it, like you're not, you just barely started.
Barely. And so I bucked up and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to this little interview, see what this is all about. And I was like, it was literally one of those things where I had no expectations going into it. Anyways, roll up to this place, and I meet the owner of Bad Apple and the owner of this marketing agency. And we just hit it off. Like, we were friends. We actually went to the same high school. Cool dudes. Like, it was a good experience. And what that turned into was me getting hired by that marketing agency. So not even necessarily specifically for that video, but they added me on for creating posts.
Like creating content.
Literally just posts for Facebook.
For Facebook.
Yeah. And they threw me through some tests, and I just had like this knack to like bring some cool videos. I remember when they did this test on me, I didn't know anything about Photoshop.
That's what I was going to say. Did you have any experience in Photoshop?
Zero with Photoshop. So they give me this test. They're like, hey, we need you to make an ad. And it was about a dentist.
Okay.
And again, I didn't even know how to crop an image.
Oh, man.
So the only way I knew how to crop images was through my phone. And it was funny because when I go in there, they give me this fancy-ass computer, and I'm sitting there, I'm like...
I wish I was on my phone.
They're like, dude, here's Photoshop, here's all the things you'll need, here's a Word doc.
Here's Lightroom, Photoshop, here's Creative Suite, and you're like, I just need my phone.
I'm like, I don't even know how to do this. So I literally jumped on my phone right then and there, and I just Googled some images, and I found some superheroes that were brushing their teeth.
Okay.
And it was like the Hulk, Batman, Superman, and I want to say like Wonder Woman or something. And I ran with that, and I just made this whole thing about like, it's even Batman, while he's fighting Gotham City, makes time to brush his teeth. Or Hulk smash those cavities. And I wrote something that was kind of like cheesy, but it was relevant to the photos. And they loved it, dude. They loved it.
They ate it up.
The funny part was I literally had to go on, I screenshotted those, I cropped them, and I emailed them to my email on that computer, and then pulled that from the email and put it into the Word doc.
Okay.
And so that was like my intro, and as soon as I made that, they loved it. And bada boom, bada bang, they were sending me a job offer.
So that was like the test. That was like your interview. Hey, make an ad for this. You made it. Yes. Had no idea how to do it, but you just threw down on it.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And then what happened is that turned into a long time career. I think I was there for 3 years, and that place was a very big startup. Like, I mean, not a very big startup. It was very much so a startup. You know what I mean? Like, they were still learning how to do everything. And so I'm actually extremely grateful that I went through all of that, just because.
And that was like your battlegrounds.
Dude, literally, it was
everything.
It was like one of those things where I realized, okay, kids go to school, and at that time, a lot of my friends were all going to college and like figuring out what they want to do. Like, to be honest, they were spending a ton of money to have somebody put this content in front of them and like teach them how to do this stuff, but they weren't making anything. Yeah. On this flip side, it was like, okay, we have clients already that are paying a lot of money, and we need you to do these things.
Yeah.
And so it was like being thrown into the fire pit, you know? Yeah. It's, you have to learn, either sink or swim.
I have so many thoughts about that too. Like, I just want to say, from a company seeing your work from like a GoPro and iMovie, you had to have had a level of talent because it was good. And so that's number one. I just want to say that like Makoa is my favorite asset of Monarch Social, just because he's so good at what he does. He is so talented. That, man. So that's number one. Number two is, I think that's hilarious how like you did your job interview and you had no idea about Photoshop or anything like that. That's hilarious. And then number three, from that company though, I do want to point out that
that's how we met.
That's how we met.
Yeah.
So
was when you were working at IQ, and that's...
Yeah, so I started a company here with my best friend years ago, and we had a brick and mortar store.
Correct.
And we had...
Selling, what was it, phone repair?
Yeah, it was phone repair.
Phone repair, selling phones.
Yeah, like we were fixing phones.
Tech
like,
guys,
you had a broken screen, bring it in, we fix it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We were really successful at that, but we had a lot of agencies come in and say, guys, you got a social media market. And every time that we would say yes, it kind of just felt like we were throwing money away. I hated it. I remember like I got a bad taste in my mouth about it, and you know, because we had one kid do it for us, and he made us like really crappy posts, and I would just be like, this just isn't our voice. It isn't whatever it is. So long story short, we met because we ended up hiring that company that you were working for, and one of the conditions of hiring that company for us was I wanted to go learn it ourselves. Yep. So I didn't have to pay them for the rest of time how to do our marketing, right?
Right.
And so I've always been a sales guy, but then I went and I sat next to you.
Literally sat right. We were in a tiny ass room.
But you taught me social media. Yeah. Like you literally were right next to me.
And it wasn't even like I have a hard time saying I taught you social media. It was more like we learned it together. Well, because dude, I didn't at that time.
I was fooled because I was paying you guys a pretty penny.
And that was a huge thing. I'll beat it to a dead pulp. It's like, fake it till you make it.
You were figuring it out.
I was figuring it out, but it's just you have to be like kind of confident with what you're saying. You know, you have to be like, if I feel like I don't really know what I'm telling you, you're going to be like, dude, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, the good thing though, and I can attest to this, is that the stuff that you guys did for us worked. It worked.
Right.
We saw like immediate response to that working. Right. And with other social media companies, like we had never seen that before. And so that's why I was so stoked. And so you might have been figuring it out at the same time, unbeknownst to me, but it worked. And so I don't know, I went there for 3 months. Yeah. About 3 years, like two or 3 months. Yeah, like every day, Monday through Friday, I was sitting next to Koa. So anyways, fast forward now, I fell in love with marketing, and I was like, damn, this is super cool. Like this is super cool stuff. And I loved Makoa's videos. And he would run ads. He would do Google AdWords. Like,
dude, I remember going to IQ with an iPhone. I remember doing a lot of gigs with an iPhone.
You shot our videos on an iPhone.
On an iPhone.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that's just, dude, that's a testament to the fact that you don't necessarily need all the fancy stuff.
It's the creator.
You just need to have a decent eye, a decent editor. Dude, I think some of those first videos we were making were still in iMovie.
That's fine.
And it works, though.
So you kept growing in there.
Correct.
And, you know, we stopped working together because, once again, we learned it. We brought our marketing team in-house.
Right.
And then we just kept doing everything that I just got taught. And we did really well. Yeah. Makoa does his thing now. I sold that company with my best friend about 2 or so years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago now. Wow, that's weird. And
that's crazy.
And it was the next thing. Like, what are we going to do? And that was one of my old partners from Monarch who we talked about. But we always just said, what's next for us? What do we do now? and we naturally went to marketing. And we said, hey, we're really good at this. And we saw a lot of small businesses that are doing it wrong. A lot of small businesses, startups, entrepreneurs, whatever you want to call them, not big businesses, but small businesses at the time. I thought we could help them.
Right.
And when we decided to pull the trigger on it and say, let's go full on in this, our number one thing that we always said was, damn, we need a Makoa. We need, and the other person that we met there too, actually works for us now too, is Brandon. And Brandon's a developer. Brandon's behind the camera
website
right now.
whiz
He's doing
over
our
here.
production right now. So, but Brandon was there too, and we literally said we need a Makoa, we need a Brandon, and how do we find that? And we started putting fillers out, and within like 2 days of us like trying to find someone.
Talk about the stars aligning.
Dude, Makoa slid into my DMs hard.
Right.
Because I'm pretty social on social media. Like I post a lot, and I was posting kind of like me and my buddy like starting a new business. And
honestly, dude, what happened was, things fizzled out, and nothing bad about the other company. Like it was great. We left. We parted ways. Everything was good. But what happened was I was looking for a job, and I literally, obviously I'm on Instagram, and I see you and Casey doing your thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I can see these guys trying to be like Gary Vee. Like you guys are always in some sort of coffee shop. You guys are always like, I want to say you guys went to Vegas, San Diego, or something.
Yeah, we went to LA.
Yeah. You guys were just traveling at fancy jackets. I was like, I see what these guys are trying to do.
Yeah.
And you guys are trying to record it yourselves. And so I just had this like whim. Again, just this whim.
Just on a whim. Just put yourself out there.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to just message Morgan and say, hey, dude, I left. I currently am looking for something to do. I see what you guys are doing. We've worked together before. You know what we can create.
Yeah.
And just throwing that out there. Just want to plant that seed. And it was like 13 minutes after I sent that message, I get a response, and it was crazy because you guys are like, we need to meet at Red Robin tomorrow at 11.
Dude, okay, so think about this. We're about ready to pull the trigger. We're going all in on this, and we're having a conversation, and we say, dude, we need the person to do the ads. Like we need an ad person, we need a content person, right? You slide in my DMs. Hey, bro, don't know what you're doing, but would love to be a part of it. It's still in my DMs right now. We went back one time to look at it, what date it was.
It was like September 12th or something.
So I open my phone and get this notification from Makoa Skulls, and I'm just like, I look at it. That's it. That's the key piece. And dude, it was the stars aligned, and we're like, we're meeting tomorrow.
For real.
And then from there, it's history. But yeah, so that's how we hooked up. That's how we know each other. That's your background. That's my background, and like I said, I was always really good at sales. And so when me and Makoa branched off by ourselves after the call center, after having the other partner, me and Makoa started. And when you break business down, it's literally two parts. You have sales and you have fulfillment. And I said, I'll sell the shit out of anyone I meet. Yeah. You do the work. And that's how we started. That's how we grew our company, is sales fulfillment. So. All right, so to get to know you a little better, Koa, I have two questions for you. Okay, and I'll answer the same ones after, but what's your favorite part about digital marketing?
That's a good question. There's just so many things that I love about digital marketing. Personally, I would say the creative side. The creative side of digital marketing, because, and that goes with any marketing. But with digital, it's just, there's always new stuff. If you make a billboard, that billboard's up there for a month to 3 to 6 months, right?
Yeah.
When you're doing digital stuff, it's on like a bi-weekly basis that you're changing
7 days, 14 days.
And it's not like one billboard. I'm telling you, when we're running ads, we have, I just barely yesterday posted 7 different videos for one campaign.
Yeah.
And so that's like, I love that. There's so many different creative things that you can do in the digital marketing world, and you get to express yourself in each little project in a way. Obviously it's a little bit different than doing your own personal kind of marketing and doing your own personal posts, because you have to kind of line it up with what your client is looking for and what they're expecting, but you still get to always throw your own little twist into it. You always get to throw your own little brand name into it, however that rolls. So that would probably be my favorite thing. Another huge thing I love is the freedom of it.
For sure.
The freedom of it. We work online.
We work wherever we want.
Which is amazing. And that's just been, I love that part of it. That's honestly the most intriguing. That's why I started doing this, was because it was like, dude, I can work from a laptop.
And we've
on a remote island. I've been in Mexico. I've been in Hawaii. I've been in California. Anywhere.
Been in Moab.
On the road. You remember when we were driving back from Napa? We were throwing down videos for a bunch of our clients. Like,
we went to Napa, California, and we drove out there. And on the way back, he was just throwing down on videos.
I mean, it's clients. A long drive, man. It's a long drive. You just got hours, and that's cool. I think that's so cool that you can be working anywhere.
Yeah, I think that's super cool.
So that's probably my favorite. Those, with a lot of other things, but that's top. Those are my top favorite things.
My favorite thing about digital marketing.
Tell me more.
Is I think I love digital marketing because everyone needs it, and when it's done well, I can really connect with those companies that do it well. Like if you have a brand that knows how to market, I think they're so clever. And
it's almost like you respect them on a different level, maybe even outside of their product, you know, outside of whatever they're offering, their strategy and how they're showing it is
and we just
respectable.
We just talked about one that we really liked and I thought was so clever was Apple's High Speed.
Dude, I mean, Apple kills it with their marketing.
That
always.
Was so good. So if you guys don't know, Apple released a new
iPhone 12, baby.
iPhone 12. Makoa is an Apple guy. I'm
always
an Android guy. They released the new iPhone,
and their big selling point is it's 5G, right? So everybody's going 5G. 5G's got the crazy speeds.
Yeah.
And of course, when they released their event flyer saying, "Hey, we have a special event coming out," all it said was high, HI, comma, speed. And clever. I was like, how clever. Dude.
Yeah, so
it's like it's one of those things where you know that Apple's gonna be creative, but then when they do it, you're just still
blows your
blown
mind.
away. You're like, wow, my gosh, that's just. And it's so simple. It's so simple.
So my favorite part about that is really connecting with awesome brands online, and there's a few brands that come to mind that I think are just marketing so well, and they can be. Even some YouTubers are marketing themselves so well, and I really connect with like the marketing aspect of it because it's just interesting to me, and I think that we live in a world right now that you have to be online if you want to be noticed.
Yeah.
If you want people to buy your product or know your service, you have to have a voice for your company, an image, a brand.
Everybody's online right now.
Yeah, everyone's online.
I mean, even more so than ever right now with this pandemic. Like,
yeah.
Seriously.
So my favorite part of digital marketing is the clever marketing.
Right.
All right. Like I like the cleverness and the funny stuff, but. All right, next question.
Yes, next question. Let's start with you, dude.
Okay.
So, as far as dislikes, what do you dislike most
about digital marketing? Two things.
What?
One is actually what you said was your favorite.
The creative?
No. The ever-changing of it.
So, gotta stay on your toes.
Yeah. So, just as you feel like you're getting a hang of something and you're like, oh, I know the algorithm. Oh, this is what works. Mm-hmm. Facebook, Instagram, Google goes and throws a curveball, and you have to adapt to that. Or you lose. And so it's not like it's a huge dislike, but it's
one of those things that it's like
an ever-changing thing
I see where it's coming from because it's like you try to automatize everything, right?
Yeah.
You try to make it so everything goes through like a process, you know, and then all of a sudden, just like you said,
it changes.
Facebook takes away some sort of, you know, feature, or they add a feature, and it just changes everything. And so it's like, again, from when we started this, I was saying we pivot.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how digital marketing agencies, the successful ones, are successful. That's how they are. It's because they're easy, they easily pivot. And then when they pivot, they go full-fledged.
Yeah. And then the second thing, because I have to say two, because this is my other one. The one of the things that I dislike about digital marketing, and this is for the little guys, okay? This is a dislike coming from a little guy, the small businesses, is there is so many ways to digital market. You have LinkedIn marketing, Twitter marketing, Reddit marketing, Facebook marketing, Google marketing, videos, images, content. That it's expensive. That's the dislike for the little guys, is that if you want a big marketing campaign, it does cost a lot of freaking money.
Yes.
And so when I meet with companies, when I meet with people that want to start marketing, obviously we try to focus on the things that have a big ROI, a fast ROI,
and even the tangible things.
It's a sea of never-ending ways to market.
Right.
And especially online, there's just so many different channels and areas that you can be that you can go through a budget really, really quick. And unfortunately, it's a pay-to-play situation.
Oh, for sure.
You pay to be seen. You pay to get noticed. You pay. So
yes.
So that's one of my dislikes for the little guys, because I understand how daunting. Like, dude, if there's a company out there, let's just say it's a shoe company, right? And they're brand new. They have one store, shoe company. They sell shoes. And they're like, yeah, like I want to get noticed. You could bombard them with the possibilities of what you could do online.
Right.
But, I know they're going to feel that daunting, overwhelming feeling of, oh my God, like
there's so much. I need a huge
budget to do anything.
There. Yeah.
So that's one. What about you? Okay. So same question for you, Koa.
So for mine,
biggest dislike.
Honestly, the biggest thing I dislike about digital marketing is trying to convince people that are set in stone of what they've done forever that this is the new wave of marketing, and trying to convince them that, hey, this is something that works.
Ooh.
And this is something that you need to do.
Okay, can I take my dislikes back? I want to say one more dislike.
Go for it.
Okay, this is one more dislike. We know what the hell we're doing, yes or no?
Yeah, of course.
Like
We've been doing this.
We've been doing this. Let's just say we have a very successful business. Very successful business. We've done this for a long time.
Right.
My biggest dislike is when we work with a client.
Oh, that thinks they know more.
And they think they know more because they said, oh, well, that video is not going to work, or that image. And
they don't even know.
They don't even know. They've never don't know their demographic.
When they've never done anything. They've never done anything. And they already assume that this isn't what's.
And they think that they're a marketing specialist. That's one of my big dislikes of digital marketing, because business owners, small businesses think they have an idea in their head of what it should look like because it makes sense to them that way in their head.
And to be fair, they've probably found a little bit of success in whatever wave they've been marketing.
But being able to portray that online
is different
than probably what they have in their head. And so that's a little a little dislike is trying to convince that business owner, that business, that brand of, hey, this is what actually is going to work, and if it doesn't, we can read the data, and then we can pivot on there, and then convincing
and
them.
A lot of the times, those people that are giving us, struggles with our strategies, they haven't done stuff online. They have never done any sort of analytics.
No data.
They don't know by data. They don't know that that's proven to be true. Their audience, the type of media that works for them. They just haven't done those things, and so it's. Yes, it's one of those things where you got to learn. Every company has a phase. They have to go through like 3 months of doing this to actually have enough data to be like, hey, this works. This is my demographic. This is the type of creative that gets people to, buy, order, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And so back to what you're saying, that's probably one of my biggest dislikes of digital marketing, is trying to convince people that are stuck in their ways, to break out of that shell and do some new stuff.
Older brands, and I'll be the first person to say this, is older type companies, the first ones to get to the digital marketing game are going to be huge. There's a certain industry that comes to mind when I think of that, is home builders, construction, those type of companies right now I feel are like super blue collar, old good boys that still have super old marketing strategies
stuck in their ways,
that I really think that those type of industries would blow up if you could convince them, stop putting yourself in a magazine,
stop putting yourself on a billboard,
like you could get so many people, many more audience people reached.
I mean, there's so many benefits. It's hard to just nail down one. So many benefits to doing online.
Okay, before we wrap this up and end our first podcast,
number one
last question for us.
Yes.
What are your favorite brands or companies right now crushing the online social media game?
So there's two sides. As far as like just online, as far as marketing.
Yeah, marketing.
I mean, we've already touched on it. I think Apple is just...
That's your brand?
That's my brand, dude. I love Apple. I think they're super good. They don't even, necessarily do a ton of... They do paid, but they do kind of a broader paid. It's a little bit, their strategy is just a little bit different, but they're also in a different class. I mean, they're like, the biggest company in the world or something like that, like top 3.
Yeah.
And so their strategies are different. And when it comes to brands, it's more of like not maybe necessarily a specific brand like that I enjoy. It's more of their strategy behind it. Like,
yeah. Who do you love on social media?
For example, one that I really liked the way they did it was Purple.
Okay.
I thought Purple was cool. I don't even have a Purple mattress, right? I don't have a Purple mattress.
But everyone knows who they are.
And everybody knows who they are.
Everyone knows who they are.
And it was cool because I felt like that was the first guerrilla, social media marketing that I saw. Because they spent millions and millions of dollars. Every single day I would get on my Instagram or Facebook and I would see an ad for Purple. Yeah. Whether I wanted to or not, it was in my face 24/7. So I respected that. I thought that was a very cool way of marketing. And I know a lot of people have done that same type of thing. I know Honey did that same type of
did that.
Guerrilla marketing, ended up selling for like billions of dollars in record time. Yeah. So it's cool that I feel like Purple kind of broke that barrier and then, other people obviously followed it.
Yeah.
So it's some of those. I mean, Nike also does a really good job. As far as creative, I feel like Nike does an amazing job.
Yo, their creative team is awesome.
Dude, I feel like they've done not even just traditional like videos. Obviously, their videos are top tier, but how they've put their product placement into like music videos. Yeah. And used huge artists, like influencer styled marketing. And then that opens up a whole other can of worms where it's the whole, what was that, Firefest that kind of like really broke into, influencer marketing. Yeah. Getting Kylie up there.
So that's what I was going to say for mine. I have 3 picks of my favorite ones right now. Okay. For different reasons. Okay. So number 1, I was going to say, my favorite people to watch on social media right now that I think are doing it right is Barstool Sports.
Oh, yes.
And it's such a winning mix of what they do. They have their regular Barstool Sports Instagram, right? And they post all the time on their funny stuff, good stuff, and content. That's what I like. Sports is good.
I literally started following Barstool just because of the memes.
Oh, dude,
and they're so funny things. It's like an Instagram ridiculousness.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
There's this stuff on there always.
And then you have El Prez, Dave Portnoy. Dude, he's so good. He is like the best thing for Bart. Like he's like the best thing ever. And then even bleeds into the Call Her Daddy podcast and that whole fiasco that happened this year. And so
all the drama.
It just got such a big audience.
What's that new one that they do? The 1 minute man?
No, what for Barstool?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like a 1 minute guy.
Oh, I don't know.
And the thing I like about Barstool
on their Instagram.
Oh
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yes.
I love how they they have a good balance of funny stuff with
it's all relevant.
TMZ type
it's
drama.
And they make it fun.
And then they throw sports in there, and they throw everything, and it's just like a full entertainment profile.
Yeah. So social media game, Barstool. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Right now. Number 2, it's the influencer model who are using Twitch streamers and YouTubers. Everyone knows about wireless Raycon earbuds. Dude, because they pay so many people, to the big guys like Logan Paul in his most recent podcast, like he just sponsored Raycon or did a sponsored ad by Raycon, to the little Twitch guys that I watch. Little Twitch guys that are, playing video games. Yeah. They're saying Raycon. So I think their strategy is really good, and they went balls deep into influencer marketing, which I really like.
And I think influencer marketing is kind of the new wave of marketing.
I do too. I think that.
And that'll be a whole nother. We will definitely talk about that on another episode.
We'll definitely dive into that because that is super important right now.
It's brand newish,
And then I have to mention one marketing strategy this year that blew everyone out of the water.
What one?
That's your boy, Travis Scott.
Oh, Travis killing the game. See, that was, yes. So Travis is doing an amazing job. Yeah.
McDonald's partnering with Travis Scott, creating the Travis Scott meal.
We, as a team, we rolled up 2 good old golden arches.
Blasting Travis Scott.
I rolled down the window and I'm like, hey, Travis sent me.
He said what?
I said, you heard me. Travis sent me.
All sprites with that?
I was like, and I need 3 of them. Next window, please.
Like he knew.
I never even said what it was. And he knew. That's insane. That's crazy.
They sold out of burgers.
I heard Big Macs were on like back order.
Oh, it was nuts. They're quarter pounders or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And so those are my 3 favorite right now. I think the Travis Scott thing, I think it was genius for McDonald's to partner with someone that big.
And we forgot a whole thing that Travis did. The Fortnite.
The Fortnite concert.
Oh my gosh, that blew me away. Huge. I'm not even a huge gamer, right? I don't game that much.
But you knew about it.
But I knew about it.
Great marketing.
I'm like, I remember watching the Marshmallow one that they did. They had like a little virtual concert. And so I was expecting it to kind of be the same. And I dive into that live, whatever, the little live room when his concert came on. And it was like the most virtual, crazy, like outlandish, absolute Travis Scott thing I've seen. Like,
that's great.
It was so crazy. And that's just, he got shown into millions and millions of people. Like, it's great personal marketing. You know, he's become one of the most popular, most marketed artists right now of our time.
Yeah, like I think the last time McDonald's partnered with someone, I think it was Michael Jordan.
I was gonna say he's on tier with Michael Jordan. What Michael Jordan was doing back in the day.
Back in the 90s when McDonald's did the Michael Jordan burger meal, whatever.
When I think of that, I think like what Kiss was probably before that.
Like a Space Jam.
Kiss was extremely branded. Yeah. Michael was extremely branded, and now.
So there's my top picks.
Travis.
So if you guys like social media, go check out Barstool Sports. I think they're killing the game.
Absolutely.
When you're watching YouTube and stuff, I think you'll hear about Raycon earbuds. And then I just think it was a great marketing strategy for a huge brand to partner with someone else. And I think it
was a win-win for both.
Yeah, that was definitely a win-win for both of them. I mean, it was huge. So those are my picks.
That's sick.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us during this time for the first ever Monarch Social podcast.
Numero uno.
Yeah, numero uno. So we're going to get on a schedule.
Try to do this, every week?
Yeah.
At least every other week?
We want to do every week, and I think that, we do these on Fridays, and we want to try to get these edited and published either on a Monday or a Tuesday. So stay tuned, see what we decide to do.
I know that this one was a lot about just us.
Yeah.
This was a lot about who we are, kind of giving you a background, what we do. But moving forward, we want to, talk about things that are happening, things that are relevant in the marketing world, and most importantly, we want to talk about things that can help you guys be better marketers.
Yeah, we want to provide value. Yes. More than anything, we hope that you guys can tune into this, watch this. We're going to turn this into a video also, so you can go watch it on our YouTube channel, Monarch Social Brand. Go subscribe and follow us there as well. But we want to be able to give tips and tricks to businesses, to people trying to grow their social media presence, the things that we see that work. As I said, social media, online marketing is a completely ever-changing beast. And we're just going to tell you guys the things that work for us and the things that we implement for our customers. Right. And if we can do that, that's what we want to provide for you guys. So follow us on social media. Where can they find us, Koa?
Go ahead and follow us on Instagram, of course, at Monarch Social Brand.
Twitter, Monarch Social.
Is it just Monarch Social?
I think it's Monarch Social 1.
Oh, okay. And then also on Facebook, Monarch Social Brand. Yep. Go ahead and check out our website, monarchsocialbrand.com.
Go follow us, guys. Tell us what you thought about the first ever podcast. Let us know. Yeah. And watch the video on YouTube as well. So,
cool.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next week.
See you on the next one.